Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss powerful, inspiring, and knowledge-filled stories that can truly transform your mindset. Today, we journey into the extraordinary life of a man who proved that greatness is not defined by where you are born, but by the courage of your dreams. Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. Fondly known as the Missile Man of India and the 11th President of India, he was born in 1931 in the small island town of Rameswaram in Tamil Nadu. From selling newspapers as a child to leading India's missile and space programs, from studying under streetlights to addressing the nation as its president. His journey is not just a biography. It is a blueprint for every dreamer. Today, we explore the inspiring story of A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, a man who transformed challenges into opportunities and dreams into reality. He was a symbol of simplicity, a true philanthropist, and a source of motivation for millions. From humble beginnings to becoming one of the most respected leaders of India, his life continues to inspire generations. So come, let us explore the extraordinary journey of Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam in this video. His full name was Abdul Kalam Abdul Kalam. He was born in the peaceful island town of Rameswaram into a modest middle-class family. His father, Jainulabdin, was a respected boat owner and an imam, a man of quiet strength and deep wisdom, even though he had very little formal education. His mother, Ashiyama, was the heart of the household, kind, compassionate, and generous. She was known for feeding not only her family, but also strangers and those in need. Their life was simple. The family owned a small boat building business. Wood, metal, ropes, and tools were part of everyday life. Without realizing it, the young boy was absorbing his first lessons in engineering, watching how things were built, repaired, and made to work. But Kalam's imagination did not stop at boats. As a child, he loved watching birds fly across the skies of Rameswaram. That fascination slowly turned into a dream of aerospace and rocketry. When a cyclone struck the Bay of Bengal and destroyed their family boat, Kalam witnessed something unforgettable: his father's calmness. Instead of despair, he remained calm and quietly began working again, determined to rebuild the business. He often remembered that same calm expression on his father's face at that moment was recalled by Dr. Kalam while designing the satellite vehicle, SLV, Prithvi, and Agni missiles during unmet schedules, during rains at rocket launch sites. Precisely, Dr. Kalam learned crisis management from his father. In that moment long ago, his father had unknowingly taught him something powerful. One day, Kalam asked why people admired his father so much. His father replied, "One must be there when people need moral support." That lesson shaped his leadership forever. During World War II, trains stopped halting at Rameswaram station. Newspaper bundles were thrown from moving trains. Young Kalam helped collect and distribute them before sunrise. From this, he learned discipline, commitment, dignity of hard work, financial responsibility. He felt proud contributing to his family's income. There was a time when food was scarce. One evening, 8-year-old boy Kalam sat down to eat with his family. He was hungry. Like any child, he ate quietly, unaware of anything unusual. His mother, Ashiyama, served him with love, as she always did. The meal ended. The night grew silent. Later, his elder brother told him something that would change his heart forever. "Kalam, you ate Amma's share of food tonight." There had not been enough for everyone. She had given her portion to him, and she went to bed hungry. without a single word of complaint. No anger, no regret, only a mother's silent sacrifice. The young boy stood still. Guilt filled his heart. He rushed to her and saw her lying peacefully, as if nothing had happened. In that quiet moment, he understood something profound. Love does not announce its sacrifice. It simply gives. From that day forward, he promised himself something. He would always remain sensitive to the needs of others. And that promise stayed with him throughout his life. The boy who would one day become a great scientist was also a deeply spiritual man, one who respected the wisdom of all religions and sacred texts. Rameswaram was a place of communal harmony. The Ramanatha Swami temple stood as a symbol of spiritual unity. Dr. Kalam's father would often narrate a story from their family history. Years ago, when the idol of Lord Ramanatha Swami accidentally fell into a temple tank, it was Kalam's great-great-grandfather who fearlessly dived in and retrieved it. The Hindu community treated him like a hero. From that day onward, Kalam's ancestors and the temple priests shared a bond of friendship and respect. Religion never divided them. It connected them. Among those bonds was a friendship that would shape young Kalam's heart. His closest friend was Ramanatha Sastri, son of the temple priest. They sat together in the first row at school, a Muslim boy and a Hindu boy, sharing books, laughter, and dreams. But one day, a newly appointed teacher entered the classroom. Seeing the boys seated together just because he was Muslim, the teacher asked the Kalam to move to the last bench. The classroom fell silent. The teacher insulted Kalam. They felt sad at this act. This was a very painful moment to young Kalam. He couldn't understand why people treated others differently based on religion. But something amazing happened. That evening, the boys shared the incident with their families. Soon, the both fathers discussed with the teacher about stopping this religion-based discrimination in Rameswaram. The issue was sorted out with this true management principle of talking openly on issues. This was one school in the district with approximately 400 students and thatched roof. All the teachers were focused on making children love the subjects that they studied. Teachers visited the house of the students when someone was absent or someone topped in the class. There were no dropouts in that school. Dr. Kalam believed that education must be imparted with love. From this childhood incident, Kalam learned, open dialogue resolves conflict. True leadership eliminates discrimination. Religion should unite, not divide. Even though he was a brilliant student, young A.P.J. Abdul Kalam came from a family that struggled financially. There was simply not enough money to easily support his higher education. Kalam understood something very early in life. If he wanted to achieve his dreams, he would have to work harder than most people. So he continued selling newspapers in the mornings, helping his family whenever he could, and studying with complete dedication. Life tested him again and again. There were days when he had no proper food, no proper books, and no support, except his own determination. But giving up was never an option. One source of strength always remained with him: his mother's love. His mother, Ashiyama, constantly encouraged him with simple but powerful words. If you want something in life, work for it. God helps those who help themselves. Those words became the foundation of his determination. During college days, at the Madras Institute of Technology, Dr. Kalam tried his best to make an aeronautical design for aircraft in lab class. But his professor once rejected his aircraft design and gave him just 3 days to redesign it. or lose his scholarship. He worked relentlessly. The redesigned model impressed the professor. He realized true teachers push students beyond their limits. Holidays started at MIT, and Dr. Kalam wanted to go home. He had to sell a book that he loved in order to get money and purchase a ticket. Instead of purchasing the book, the shopkeeper mortgaged it, lent money to Dr. Kalam, and promised not to sell the book until he returned. And a small act of kindness that strengthened his faith in humanity. Kalam dreamed of becoming an Air Force pilot. He narrowly missed selection by 1 rank. Instead of losing hope, he accepted destiny's direction and joined the Ministry of Defense. And that decision changed the future of India forever. After the graduation, Kalam joined the Aeronautical Development Establishment, DRDO, in Bangalore in 1960. There he built India's first hovercraft prototype from scrap and ingenuity. In 1963, Indian National Committee for Space Research, INCOSPAR, which became ISRO. By 1972, Kalam was project director for SLV-3, India's first launch vehicle. The space journey began in a small coastal village called Tumba in Kerala, a church campus. With vision and determination, Vikram Sarabhai, the father of India's space program, convinced church authorities to hand over the premises for scientific research after proper approvals. The prayer hall became a laboratory. The bishop's house became an office. Scientists even stayed in the priest's residence. It was perhaps the first time in history that a church was voluntarily handed over for a scientific experiment, a powerful symbol of unity between faith and science. This deeply inspired Dr. Kalam. He saw that when spiritual wisdom and scientific minds come together for a greater purpose, a nation rises. Sarabhai saw great potential in Kalam and told him, "India needs bright minds like you. One day, you will take our country to great heights." From Sarabhai, he learned that a true leader listens, thinks creatively, builds strong teams, stands with the team during failure, takes responsibility. Years of tireless effort, countless failures, and an unbreakable dream. Finally, in 1980, that dream lifted off from Indian soil. Using the Satellite Launch Vehicle 3, India successfully placed its first satellite, Rohini RS-1, into orbit, a historic milestone that changed the nation's future. At the heart of this achievement stood a humble scientist from Rameswaram, Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. His vision, perseverance, and leadership helped propel India into the space age. In 1982, Kalam returned to the Defense Research and Development Laboratory, DRDL, as its director. A year later, in 1983, he launched a bold and ambitious mission, the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. It was not just a project. It was a declaration of self-reliance. Under this program, India began developing a new generation of indigenous missiles: Prithvi, Trishul, Akash, Nag, and Agni. Years of research, years of testing, years of perseverance. Then came 22nd May, 1989. The Agni technology demonstrator roared into the sky, a successful test that signaled something profound. India had kindled its own strategic fire. But history was not done yet. Nearly a decade later, in May 1998, serving as the scientific advisor to the defense minister, Kalam helped orchestrate one of the most decisive moments in India's defense history: Pokhran-2 nuclear tests. The world reacted swiftly. Sanctions followed. But Kalam remained calm. He understood something deeply. Progress often speaks in the language of resistance. And India kept moving forward. The boy who once watched birds fly now helped rockets touch the sky. Missiles were not his only mission. In the 1990s, alarmed by the cost of imported cardiac stents, he collaborated with cardiologist Dr. B. Soma Raju. Together, they developed an indigenous low-cost stent. Commercialized through the CARE Foundation, it saved thousands of lives. Kalam refused royalties. His reward was breath restored to the poor. On January 11, 1999, tragedy struck. An Avro aircraft crash claimed the lives of 8 brave men. The loss was sudden. The grief was immeasurable. When A.P.J. Abdul Kalam met the grieving families, he did not meet them as a scientist. He met them as a human being. The government provided financial aid. Compensation was given. Formalities were completed. But as he looked into the eyes of the families, wives, children, parents, he understood something deeper. No amount of money can replace a life. In that silent moment of reflection, he realized a truth that would stay with him forever. It is not machines that build a nation. It is the sacrifices of people. Technology matters. Missiles matter. Aircraft matter. But the people who build them, the people who risk their lives, they matter more. The lesson echoed something his father once taught him in the small boatyard of Rameswaram. The boat is important, but the men who sail it are more important. From that day onward, leadership meant more than innovation. It meant responsibility. It meant compassion. It meant valuing every human life behind every achievement. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam walked into the grand halls of Rashtrapati Bhavan. But he did not carry a political agenda. He carried something far more meaningful. His Veena, his dreams, and his deep love for the youth of India. Unlike many leaders, he did not spend most of his time in political meetings. Instead, he traveled across the country, visiting schools and colleges, speaking directly to young students. Wherever he went, his message was simple. Dream big, work hard, believe in yourself. Under his leadership, the presidency became something extraordinary. It became a classroom of hope for the entire nation. When children once asked him how they could become president, he smiled and said, "Start by leading your own life with courage." One of his most famous words continues to inspire millions. Dream is not that which you see while sleeping. It is something that does not let you sleep. Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam often said that Swami Vivekananda as one of his guiding lights. Addressing the youth convention organized by the Ramakrishna Mission at Vadodara on January 18, 2012, he urged the youth to embody Swami Vivekananda's ideals of self-confidence, courage, and integrity. Calling small aim a crime, he inspired them to dream big and work hard for a developed India. Kalam carried forward Swamiji's vision of spiritually strong, morally upright, and progressive Bharat. Dr. Kalam often described his life as my journey. On July 27, 2015, while delivering a lecture at Indian Institute of Management, Shillong, he suffered a cardiac arrest and passed away at the age of 83. Even in his final moments, he was doing what he loved most, teaching. Dr. Kalam left behind scientific achievements, leadership lessons, moral values, a vision for a developed India, an example of simplicity and humility. He proved that greatness can emerge from small towns. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Leadership means standing with people in both success and crisis. Education given with love transforms lives. His life remains a guiding light for generations. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs motivation today. Like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful stories of leaders who changed the world. Because remember, dreams are not what you see when you sleep. Dreams are what keep you awake. Thank you for watching.